Hey everyone, a little introduction before we get into the video to talk about my loadout and that kind of stuff. If you're not interested in the loadout and you just want to get right into the action, then I'll leave a timestamp in the video so that you can skip right ahead to the beginning of the mission. Now, as for the how and the why, so earlier today I did my first solo flawless on Warlock using a very safe build. It's almost identical as the one I'm using on my Hunter, it's just that I swapped out the sword for Anarchy because Anarchy is very safe, but I messed up the recording so you were looking at a black screen. So I decided to go in again on my Hunter, one because I'm a Hunter main, so I wanted to try it on my Hunter at some point, and two because a friend of mine had a very fun build idea to use a sword instead. Now of course the sword is really good in this fight or this little mission up until the final boss, because on the final boss it's really dangerous to be using a sword. But of course, because we can't switch gear whenever we're inside the mission because your equipment does get locked, I decided to try and make it work anyway. So this is the loadout right here on my Hunter. Gonna be using Night Stalker on the bottom 3 because this will also help me take care of Void Shields with the Mobius Quiver. If you're running something else, which I'll talk about in just a second. And then of course Gambler's Dodge, Vortex Grenade, this gets me my melee back, my melee makes me invisible, which is going to be really helpful. Now for the weapons themselves, I'm running the Extraordinary Rendition. This is from Season of the Chosen, so aka the current season, one of my favorite weapons in the game at the moment. Running Deafening Whisper as my special weapon because I really like wave frame grenade launchers. Now the only reason why I'm running this and not Salvage's Salvo is because the chip damage on swords is still in the game. Now they mentioned in yesterday's TWAP, This Week at Destiny, that they're going to be removing that soon. So as soon as the chip damage is gone from swords, basically use Salvage's Salvo instead, because I'm going to be using my sword to kill the arc shielded, what I call again, captains on the final boss. But of course, if that chip damage is gone, then that won't work anymore. So you'll need a source of arc damage, which would then be the Salvage's Salvo. I did a run with Salvo, I did 3 runs with Deafening Whisper, I think, until I got my Flawless, of course. And both work just as well, it's just that I really like the wave frame style of grenade launchers. Of course, everything that puts this build together is the Lament. The reason why we're using Lament and not something else is because this gives you lifesteal. And you pretty much need this lifesteal to keep you alive. I tried it earlier on my Warlock as well with the Healing Rift while using Falling Guillotine. It didn't really work out for me because the adds would just destroy me on the final phase. So that is why I'm using this instead. Because this will just keep me alive with the lifesteal. As part of keeping me alive, I'm also using Wormhusk Crown, very good exotic if you're just trying to play it safe. On top of that, I also have Protective Light. This makes it so that whenever you go red bar, you basically gain a bunch of damage resistance, which is definitely going to save your life, because you're going to be in danger quite a lot. And then outside of that, just got some ammo finder mods on my gloves, just got reload mods. On the chest piece, I have a melee damage resistance because of course we're going to be in melee range a lot, so this is going to help out a ton. And I also put on solar resistance because both the boss as well as the captains on the boss do solar damage. I used to have a sniper damage resistance up at first, but for the final run I decided to switch it to solar resistance, and I don't necessarily know if this really makes a big difference, but that is what I ran with. And it was able to keep me alive. For the boots, just using scavenger mods because we want as much sword ammo as possible because we're going to be using the sword a lot. And then over here also another very important perk, Passive Guard. This is on the artifact, which makes it so that you receive a whole lot less damage from combatants that are close to you while you are wielding a sword. And that is gonna, again, be very useful because we're gonna be using the sword a lot. So that's pretty much the loadout. That's also the idea behind it. Basically, a friend of mine gave me the idea to try it. I did do the Flawless on my Warlock, but the recording messed up, so I was like, okay, I'll just do a second recording, trying it on my Hunter, and it took me, I believe, 4 tries before I managed to get the Flawless done. And yeah, that's pretty much all the information that you need to get. So I'm gonna leave you with the rest of the gameplay. I hope you enjoy.
Exploratory outing, Presage. Designation VG-999. I am receiving you.
Not finished picking at Cabal bones?
Keitel. Have you no more officers to send in your place?
You're trespassing, and I need information on that ship. Withdraw.
This is a rescue operation for a wayward ghost. Interference here would not end well for you.
Rescue? The Cabal are not animals. Send in your guardian, but Callus belongs to me. As long as I see him dragged from this hole, I don't care who does it.
Then keep your distance and leave us be.
I've lived aboard these ships. I know their systems. You
shall see. What will you do with Callus if he is found?
Autocrats only know obsession. His gluttony exposed us. So I'll feed him all the trimmings of his failure until his belly bursts. Are those Elixni?
One time, their ether was bound with darkness. Now they're scorned, rot-minded and easily swayed to violence.
The perfect vessel, if one could keep them contained. This infestation. I've seen it before. Sibu Arath slaughtered my people.
What was it like, that inevitability?
Like burning alive, and realizing the flames are just the beginning. Gasps of scorching air. Helpless panic. The smell. Was it any different when Gaul razed the city? Survivors like us are embers in the dark.
Delicate.
Defiant. Osiris sends you through a trash compactor. If you were Cabal, I would lift you into the stars.
You've never sounded more like your father. You kill that.
The Cabal have suffered too many losses for vanity, petulance. First Callus, then Gaul.
But not you.
Don't insult me. I've grown wise from watching monuments topple. No mercy for false gods. ran roots to the tangled shore.
Where they harvested the scorn for their experiments.
This hangar took in ships from all over Seoul. The Leviathan could be lurking at any of those coordinates. Your missing guardian was working with my father.
So it would appear.
If his ghost were recovered, would its memories be accessible?
That remains to be seen.
No. You burned away. I saw it.
What do you hear, Empress?
Mistakes. Thrown on the pyre of my past. You heard something different?
The ignorance of my youth. The pain of change. Unproven faith wilted by logic. I found a record of first contact with this voice. It says, I, Omson, scribe of Glykon, rejoice. The Scorn are one, rejoice. They bear the weight of the crown elegantly, rejoice. They whisper anticipations, rejoice. Our Emperor hears the voice of salvation, rejoice.
Sycophants, all of them, enabling his madness. What is that thing?
Our lost guardian.
Can your ghosts undo that?
Not so far as I'm aware.
Then why are you searching for it?
Answers? Same as you, Empress.
If there is nothing else, I must analyze the Glycon's archives. My cruiser will monitor the situation here.
A path to the ghosts still eludes us. Until we return then,